Alrighty. So, what is up, everybody? My channel name is DivulgentDrewGaming, and just let me start this off by saying YouTube has always been a dream of mine. I love to inform and entertain people, so I always have figured YouTube would be a natural fit for me, and hopefully we can make something out of this. I know if I put the time and effort into my craft, it will become something great. So I'm going to plug myself real quick. I do a gaming podcast weekly, 2 times a week. We release an episode every Monday and every Friday. I do it with some of my good buddies. It's called the Press Play Podcast. Just Press Play Podcast. Don't know why I said the. On it, we cover gaming news to a certain extent, and we answer some questions such as our favorite games and our favorite genres, etc. The point is that we discuss gaming and we have a good time doing it. Link in the description below. So, the main reason I plugged the gaming podcast is because this channel is kind of going to be like that to a certain extent. I've always wanted to do a podcast, and I've always wanted to do a YouTube channel, so I figured they should both essentially be the same thing, and that way it'll be pretty easy for me to do both at the same time. Alright. So, I'm going to shout out a couple channels that have made me want to start doing YouTube. First and foremost, Mr. Matty Plays, Fudge Muppet, Sorcerer Dave, The Quartering, MGB, and a smaller YouTuber by the name of Opulent Gaming. Those guys have all gotten me into YouTubing, and yeah, they put out quality content, and you guys should go subscribe to them. So this is going to be a gaming channel, a gaming-based channel that focuses mainly on gaming news. However, I will also regularly do videos on reviews of games that I've been playing, and I will post some gameplays from time to time. I would love to be able to hit 1,000 subscribers as soon as I can, so that way I can do live streams with you guys. With all that being said, today we're going to be discussing the Gaming Awards. I'm going to start this off by discussing a couple games real quick that they revealed at the Gaming Awards that I think look pretty cool. So starting it off, it's going to be in the video you guys see. You're going to see gameplay of it. It's called Back 4 Blood, and essentially what that is it's Left 4 Dead 3, because it's made by the developers of Left 4 Dead, or helped being made by the developers. So that's pretty much what it is. It's pretty much going to be a clone of Left 4 Dead, which it's about time. I mean, we've been waiting long enough for that. The last release was Left 4 Dead 2 on the 360, which I don't even know what year that was, but it was a while ago. Next, there's Dragon Age 4. I played Inquisition and I enjoyed it. Still going to need to see some more gameplay and stuff of Dragon Age 4, but it looks pretty good. Hopefully they can do a little bit better than Inquisition. It wasn't a bad game, but there were some issues with it. And finally, we have Crimson Desert, which is an open world MMORPG to a certain extent, but it's also going to have a single player mode, so we're going to see how that works. But now, into the nitty gritty. So first I'm going to be discussing the nominees, and we're going to take each award one by one here. And I'm not going to be doing any of that esports crap because I don't know anything about it, to be honest with you, so I'm not going to act like I do. Alright, getting into it. Best multiplayer. So, the winner was Among Us, obviously. It's super easy to play, and it's available on like all platforms, I'm pretty sure, like the phone, PC, not on like consoles or anything, but it's super accessible, and I think that's the main reason it probably won. It was accompanied by Animal Crossing, Warzone, Fall Guys, and Valorant. I haven't ever played Valorant, but those other games are alright. Among Us definitely makes sense there. Best sports and racing game, Tony Hawk Pro Skater. Pretty self-explanatory. The game sold very well. Alright, the best sim strategy, Microsoft Flight Simulator. There is also Gears Tactics, Crusader Kings, Desperados 3, and XCOM. Now we have the best family game, and Animal Crossing won that, which, no surprise. I mean, it really deserves that title. In the conversation was Crash Bandicoot, Fall Guys, Mario Kart Live, Home Circuit, Minecraft Dungeons, and Paper Mario. Alright, the best fighting game. Wasn't really any fighting games that much that got released this year. Street Fighter, One Punch Man, Under Night, and Birth, and Grand Blue Fantasy Versus. I have played none of those besides Mortal Kombat, and it was a pretty solid game, so it makes sense to me that it won. Okay, moving on to best role playing. Final Fantasy 7 Remake was the winner here, which it deserved. I haven't got super far into that game, but it's a really solid remake, even though it isn't really like, it's not a remaster, it's a remake, so they kind of remade the whole game, and I really like how they did the combat in it. I thought they did a really good job. Genshin Impact, I think that's how you say it. Persona 5 Royal. Wasteland 3 I've heard really good things about, but I haven't played it. And Yakuza Like a Dragon. That also looks pretty good. Have not played that, though. Alright, now we're getting into the... I don't know how to word this. We're getting into the... where I think this thing is kind of rigged. I'm not going to sit here and talk about The Last of Us Part 2. We can do that in another video. I'm not going to sit here and talk about it the whole episode. But just a little quick rundown. So, basically, The Last of Us Part 2, I think, is just so overrated in this gaming show aspect. Personally, everybody I know, like, they didn't even want to play the second game because of what went on, you know. I'm not going to spoil anything, but they just... there's things they could have done if they were going to go the way they went. They could have done better, in my opinion, and in a lot of people that I know's opinion, but they didn't go that way, and I don't know, it's just really sad. But they took home a lot of awards, not saying they shouldn't have gotten some of these awards, but they got a little too many, in my opinion. So, best action adventure game, The Last of Us Part 2 took that. My personal opinion should have been Ghost of Tsushima. I'm going to say Ghost of Tsushima should have won a lot of these that it didn't. But, I mean, even, like, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order I thought would have a good chance of winning this, but it didn't. Miles Morales, Spider-Man, and Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and Ori and the Will of the Wisp were also in the conversation. Last of Us Part 2 took it home. Do not agree with that at all, but it did. The best action game, we have Doom Eternal, Hades, Half-Life, Neo 2, and Streets of Rage 4. Hades took home the cake. I have yet to play it, but I will pick it up at some point and play it. Both Doom Eternal and Neo 2 I really enjoyed. I have not played Half-Life Alyx or Streets of Rage 4, but they both look alright. Innovation and accessibility. This is where Last of Us Part 2 blows all the other competition out of the water. They did all those things so they could help, impaired people in either seeing or hearing. All those customization options. That's where it really shined, and I think they did a really good job there. So they should have had that one easily. I will give that to them. The best VR game, Half-Life Alyx. I have not played any of the VR games. I do not own a VR, so I'm not gonna go over that. The best community support was for Fall Guys, which, yeah, I mean, I'm glad they won something. The game was alright. I'm not in love with it, but, you know, it's not too bad. Okay, best mobile game, we have Among Us, which, yeah, it makes sense it won, because like we discussed earlier, how accessible it is. Part of that reason is probably because people played it on the phone so much, so only makes sense. Best indie game, Hades. I have played none of the other games on this list. Splunky 2, Spiritfarer. I played Fall Guys, and I have not played Karen, I believe. I do not know. Best ongoing game was No Man's Sky. Makes sense. Solid game. Just glad to see Fortnite didn't win it. Warzone, Destiny 2, and Apex were also in the conversation. And games for Impact, I have not played any of these either, so I'm not going to discuss this. Alright, best performance. Laura Bailey as Abby gets best performance. I mean, I'm not going to say she didn't do a good job, but best performance, Come on, people. I don't think Jen should have won it either. I honestly don't know who I would have picked, but not Abby. No. No, thank you. Best audio design, like we kind of went over earlier, it makes sense. Last of Us Part 2 won this because all the stuff that they did to help the people that are impaired in some way. So it does make sense. Best score and music, I'm glad Final Fantasy VII Remake won this. Doom also had a really good soundtrack. I haven't played Hades, so I don't know about that. Nor Ori and the Will of the Wisps. Last of Us 2 music was okay, but definitely think it should have been either Doom or Final Fantasy, so I'm glad Final Fantasy won that. Best art direction. Finally, Ghost of Tsushima wins something. And funny enough, it's the only one they won. I think they should have won Best Action and Adventure Game 2 and Best Direction. Last of Us 2 did not have the best narrative or direction. There is no way in hell. You have got to be playing yourself like a fool if you're saying that. The division that game caused, come on. No, either Final Fantasy or Ghost of Tsushima should have won it. Maybe I would be singing a different tune if I'd played Hades. I haven't, so I can't say a whole lot on that. Best game direction, Last of Us Part 2. Don't know why. Probably gonna get destroyed in the comments for this, but I don't know how that's the best game direction. I mean, if you weren't attached to the first game in any way, shape, or form, this was the first one you played, then okay, but that's the only way personally that I could see how you can think this game had the best direction. And Game of the Year, of course, Last of Us. It is what it is. I understand why certain people like it. I also understand why people hate it. And I'm one of those people that hate it. So, yeah. If it was me picking, Ghost of Tsushima all the way, baby. One of my favorite games that I've ever played. It's repetitive, but it's not... I don't know how to say it exactly. It's repetitive, but it's a very, very, very replayable repetitive, where it doesn't get boring. Sure, you're doing the same thing, but it doesn't get boring. I can still go... I platinumed the game, I could go back and play Ghost of Tsushima Legends. A free multiplayer edition, which they added, by the way, for free. Free addition to the game. Yeah. And I can go back and play that and have a crap ton of fun doing that. But that's going to do it for the video, guys. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Go ahead and give the podcast a listen in the description if you'd like. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. See you next time. Peace.